Hi, fourth graders. It's time for us to do a little more Chumash. Now, I've opened back to page 25 where we did some reading before. If you don't remember what this page was about, feel free to go back to last week's document and watch the video again so that this is clear to you. Today, we're going to start looking at the verbs that we have in this part of the Chumash. Now, you are aware in modern Hebrew that we have masculine and feminine verbs. We have them in the Bible too, but they look different. So what I want to do today is take a look at the verbs that we have specifically in Psukim Bet, Gimel, and Dalet. So we started Aleph with Vayelech and Vayikach. These verbs that start with Vav Yud we have seen before. Right? Vav, Yud. And now look at the verbs we have coming up here. If I read through the first word of every line, all but two of them start with verbs, but none of them are Vav, Yud. Look at what happens. Vatahar, next line. Vatera, Vatitzpenehu. Velo, that one doesn't have a verb there. Vatikach, Vatachmara, Vitasem, Vatasem, Vatetatsav. What are you noticing? They're all starting with Vav and Taf. This is actually the difference between a masculine, male verb and a feminine, female verb. So, if we were to imagine it, say that's a bow for a baby girl and it's red or pink, think of it. This is feminine, Vav Taf. And then we have Vayi, that's for a boy. So let's say that's a baby boy. This is a bow and for a baby girl. Vav Yud is a masculine verb. And Vav Taf is always going to be a feminine verb. So look, we're seeing Vav Taf over and over and over in here. And that's because all the action in this part of Chumash is being done by girls and women. This is a part of the Tanakh where women don't have to say, oh, where are the women in this story? We've got them front and center. This is girl power in this chapter. So let's take a look at what exactly else is going on here. Let's go through the verbs starting in Pasuk Bet and find all of these feminine verbs and put them in a box. So while I'm marking them here, you should have your book open to page 25, and where I'm putting a box around the verb, I want you to put a box around the verb too. So here we go. Here is one. That's the one we started off with, Vatahar. And look, there's one in the same line. There's another one. Vateled ben. Let's do that. Oops. Stopped working. Vateled ben. Good. Keep going. You see the next one on the next line? Vatera. That is also a feminine verb. So far we have, I should have made that one a little taller. Well, you make it go around the whole word. So, Vatahar, she got pregnant. Vateled, she gave birth. Vatera, she saw. Let's look at this one. Vatitzpenehu. I keep forgetting that I have to open up that tool each time I'm going to draw a box. Vatitzpenehu, she hid him. Where's the next one? Oh, here it is. Do you see it? Vatikach. She took. Let me get that tool again. She took. And I'm going to let you find the next one. I'm waiting. Good. Vatachmara. I am really forgetting that I have to touch that square again each time I want to put another box. Vatachmara. Keep looking. Good. Vatasem. Keep looking for the next one. Vatasem again. And there's one more. Have you found it yet? Do you have a box around it? Vatetatsav. You can put your box in a better place than mine. Okay, these are all things that she did. These are all females. She got pregnant. She gave birth. She saw. She hid him. She took. She, she sealed up the basket. She put, and she stood. Okay, so here we've got all of these verbs that are all feminine. Lots of girl action coming here. So what are we going to do with it? Let's look at the next part of our lesson. I want you to look at page 27 here, because 27 is all about all the actions that are being done by women here in this story. This is the same page. I've just gone in really close to show you because we are today going to just focus on this part of the story. Now look at the picture here. This is the beginning of our story. We see a woman here. She has a young girl with her, and she has a baby in a basket. This is the part of the story that we've just read about. You can see they've taken one of the verbs here from our story and put it there. Now there's space for 4 verbs around here. They want us to find 3 more verbs from our story that we can now put on these lines to tell us what happened. So let's go back to the page where we put all of our boxes around the verbs. So we started with vatika on the page that we're working on. So let's look here. We've got right here vatikach. So they want us to find 3 more actions that are part of this scene where the mother is putting the baby into the water in the basket. So let's see. We're starting with tikach, so we're going to be going in this direction. So let's look for vatach mara. You're going to take the word vatach mara and we're going to insert it also back on that page. So here we're going to want to write in the word vatach mara. Vatach mara. You can do it more neatly than I can here on this iPad. Okay, so go back and look at what's the next word and what's the next verb. And do they all have to do with this picture here? I think you'll find that they do. So I'm going to let you go back on your own, find the next 2 verbs that go here, but don't go as far as vatetatsav, because that's this picture here, that she stood, remember, and watched. So you're going to fill in this blank and this blank right now with the 2 missing verbs. Go ahead and push pause while you do that. Okay, I'm hoping that you filled those blanks with the words vatasem and vatasem. Okay, she put the boy in the basket, and she put it in the suf, in the reeds, al sfat hayaor, on the edge of the Nile. So now what we're going to do is, you can see that they've put these little circles here. We see these are all feminine, but it's not always the same person doing something. So let's see who is doing the action here. Okay, who is it that we're being told vatahar and vateled? Let's listen to the line again. They want us to write here who's doing the action. Vatahar ha'isha vateled ben. Who is it that's doing it? What's the name of the person? We're not actually even told a name. How is the person described to us? Is it the ben that's getting pregnant and giving birth? Or is it the isha? Yeah, you got it. we don't have very many baby boys that are getting pregnant and having babies. This is going to be ha'isha. We're told that the person that did this is ha'isha. Let's look at the next circle down here. Vatetatsav achoto merachok. So who is the person that's standing far away from a distance to watch? Do you see who it is? We're not told a name, but we're told who it is. The answer here is achoto, ha'achot shalo. His sister is the person that's standing, stationing herself a distance away to see what's going to happen to him. So there we have the two women that are doing our actions so far. So what's very interesting here is that so far we have not been told the name of any character. We've been told a man from the tribe of Levi up here in the beginning. And we're told that he took a Bat Levi, but we're not told a name. So what we want to look for right now is who are these people and what are they being called if they're not being called by their names. So here, we're on page 28 now. If you go down to number 5, right here, they're showing us pictures of characters in the story. We're not told their names, as I said, but they want us to write down what they are being called. So if we look back at the beginning page, we can start to look for kinuim, nicknames, not nicknames the way we think of, but words that are being used to refer to somebody other than their name. So we're going to go look back at the text. First, I want to tell you, though, this is a picture of Yocheved. If you haven't figured that out yet, this is Moshe's mom, and this is his sister Miriam. Just so that we're seeing the right people when we look, okay? Let's go figure out what Yocheved is being called in this part of the text, other than her name. Okay, let's fill this in next to Yocheved's name. She's called Bat Levi. Oops, I left out the love. She's being called Bat Levi. Let's go see what else she's being called. So going back to the beginning, is Yocheved being referred to in this first pasuk? Well, yes, she is. Who is she? Is she Ish mi Beit Levi or is she Bat Levi? You're right. Here, Yocheved is being called Bat Levi. That's the word that's being used to describe her other than her name. So we are going to go back to the other page and we are going to fill that in as one of the names that Yocheved is being called. Okay. Vatahar Ha'isha. There we have another name for her, Ha'isha. Let's keep going and find all of the ones that are going to be written next to Yocheved's picture, and then we can go back and fill them in. So she's called Bat Levi, she's called Ha'isha, Vateled Ben, V'tera Oto Kitov. She saw that he was good, and she hid him for 3 months. It doesn't tell us anything else she's called there. Let's go to Pasuk Gimel. Lo yachla od hatzfino. There's no name for her there. Vatikach lo tevat goma. Nothing there. V'tachmara v'chemar uvazafet. Nothing there. All we have is the verbs that mean she. V'tasem ba et hayeled. V'tasem basuf osvat hayeor. And now we're changing to a different person. Vatetat sav achoto merachok. So it looks like in these verses we only have these two. So we're going to want to add Ha'isha next to Bat Levi. And let's take a different color and let's highlight what Miriam is being called. She's being called Achoto. And we are going to transfer that back to the other page too. So we saw that Yocheved was also called, oops, wrong color, Ha'isha. And we saw that Miriam is called Achoto. Oops, that should be a chet. Let me erase. Okay. Achoto. Okay, so there we finished our work for today. What we've seen is we've learned about a feminine verb structure that starts with vav, taf. We've seen that this is a part of the text where the story is surrounding all the action of women. We've noticed still that no actual names are being used. We are told, instead of being told Yocheved did this, we're told Bat Levi, Ha'isha, Achoto. So we still have this same question coming up. Why aren't any names being used? Believe me, we're going to get there and we're going to talk about it. But this is our stopping point for today. Good job.